Son of a...
Hello everyone, this is another episode of Tism Talk where I'm having to explain to Connor that God of War franchise is not a good intro into mythology.
A good intro into mythology.
Yeah, but you're acting like Loki was not absolutely the bad guy in the Norse pantheon.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who's the one constantly fixing some of the gods' problems? Who's the one who had sex with a horse because Odin was being a cheapskate?
What are you fucking talking about, my guy?
In the story of the Wall of Asgard that protects the Aesir, Loki, the giant who made it, was all like, alright, I'll make you this impenetrable wall, except I want the sun, the moon, someone else, and the goddess Freya. And Odin wanted the wall, so he was like, sure, and then immediately basically turned to Loki like, make it so he can't finish in time, because he was given 7 days to do it.
Well, that's because of all the gods, Odin liked.
Odin trusted Loki.
No, it's not Odin. I will not allow this butchering of the name to continue any longer. It is Odin.
Odin, whatever. Othin.
Odin. TH between the teeth. Odin.
Odin.
It was a mistranslation a long time ago because the symbol in the Norse alphabet for the noise looks like a D with a cross through it. And so it was believed by English speakers that it was Odin, but it is Odin.
Anyway,
guide me to the next whatchamadoo.
Or what dungeon are we on?
We're going to not Spectacle Rock, the 8th dungeon, which is somewhere weird.
Guess when we done the 8th dungeon.
Clearly have not.
Where's the 8th dungeon?
There are 9 dungeons. The last one is Ganon. It's in the middle somewhere. It's somewhere weird. Like, is that it?
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, it was the first dungeon we found. Alright, so let's see, you're at the ferry. Go down.
Down.
Go to the right. I finally got it right. Keep going to the right. Keep going to the right until you see
a wall
area.
Of water I can't go past.
Alright, fuck you. Go to the right until you see somewhere with 5 points of entry or exit.
What? Why are you so...
Go 3 spaces from the next body of water. To the right. Go down.
You're the worst navigator ever.
Alright, now go right 3 spaces. I'm sorry, you're the worst.
No, you're the... You can just look. You knew I was at the ferry. There's only one big ferry fountain like that.
Anyway,
Is this it?
No. Wait.
Don't touch me.
Alright, you're on the right track.
Okay, so I'm going up.
Yes.
You're the worst. You cost me half a heart.
Up, and I said you have to go up.
Is this the right place then?
No, go to the right now, but upper right.
Let me double check and make sure I have a potion. We gotta farm some money. I need potions.
Alright, go down. Or you can go either way. It doesn't really matter. Now go right. There you are.
Fuck.
That's the dungeon.
Goblin piece of shit. Alright, we already got the compass here.
Yes, now you need to get the Triforce.
Jesus Christ. No, we gotta get the map so we know where we're going.
Now you got to get the Triforce.
Why do you make me
I remember. You push the block on the left down.
Yes, it's always that, but you have to kill all the things first.
You gotta kill all the things first. Anyway, so as I was saying, Othin was being a cheapskate.
Not Othin, Othin.
Othin was being a cheapskate and was like, oh, Loki, make sure you can't finish in time. And so Loki turns into a horse and distracts the giant's horse. When the giant finds out about it, he was outraged. Goes up to Odin, and all the Norse gods are better put as neutral. They're not really bad or good, because they do bits of both.
Yeah, that's how they were back then.
Anyway,
the Norse were very fatalistic people because they lived in a really suck-ass land. That's why also all the gods are also gods of fertility.
And a good chunk of gods are also gods of war.
No, not a lot of them. It was really only
Tyr,
3.
Odin. I'm pretty sure Tyr was like sort of a justice keeper in Asgard or something like that. Anyway, yeah, when the giant finds out about Loki's romantic distraction, he's outraged, reverts back into his Jotnar form, goes to file a complaint with Odin with his axe, and Thor kills him. And then they just finished the construction on the wall themselves.
And I was supposed to feel bad why the Jotun were cannibals. Okay, so this was where we got something.
And that's probably where we got the compass.
No, that's not where the compass, that would have been an item.
Probably where we got the compass.
Why are you like this?
Probably where we got the compass.
Destroy your kneecap.
And then Loki, I have no idea how, but somehow Loki got pregnant after that and gave birth to Odin's battle horse, Sleipnir.
Yes. And it's because he turned into a mare, and so he distracted the horse.
Yes. Like I said,
But also, you seem to be leaving out the fact that he constantly fucked with the other gods, including taking Sif's hair.
Which resulted in Thor getting his hammer.
Yes, yes. You say that, but that was literally just... That wasn't him being like, oh, I've done this thing, so now you'll get a hammer. It was, oh shit, he's about to, like, destroy me. No, it was for a competition, I swear. Put the axe away, friend. I don't want to die just yet.
Just yet. But, like, I feel like if you're calling, like, Odin this... Odin, this great, kind person...
No, I'm not.
Sorely mistaken. I know, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying some people do.
I don't think anyone who's read anything about Norse mythology would say that. He was a god of dualities. He was both good and bad. He was both evil and pure. He was both wicked and kind. He was dual. He was Odin in the
should probably stop
proper
those things.
Yes, I know. This is the worst. I hate this dungeon so much. Anyway, it means when you take the two requisite parts of his name, it translates to madman.
Yeah.
But not mad as in like angry, mad as in like ecstatic, to be extra.
And he was also very paranoid about Ragnarok and liked to try his best to control what happens.
I think this is more stuff you're getting from the game. He wasn't in the mythology, he was not paranoid about Ragnarok. He knew that it was going to happen, exactly how it would happen. And the Norse were a fatalistic people. They didn't believe you could change destiny. They believed that fate was something that was set in stone, and you could only change how you approached your destiny.
Oh yeah,
not the final outcome.
He wasn't trying to change it. He was trying to prolong it.
Not prolong it. He was trying to make sure the most people who could survive would survive.
Right, oh, thank you. But if I this might be wrong, but if I remember correctly, people who survive were like two humans, Magni and Modi.
In proper Ragnarok, no one survives. It ends in literally the death of the proper universe.
Oh. Well, in one depiction I've heard of, Magni and Modi live. Baldur just comes back to life. That's
from the
Poetic Edda.
Yes, which was written by a turned Christian who had Norse ancestry, and was his way of trying to put the Norse pantheon into Christianity.
Didn't he write that like Balder became the super cool new god or something like that?
Yes and no. It's a lot of nonsense. And
Yeah.
Balder is actually another example of Loki just being a fucking piece of shit. So the reason that Balder, well, first off, Balder was just an embodiment of purity.
Yeah, literally.
Balder's
Balder's title was Balder the Beautiful.
Yes, he was just a very pure, very just good,
Everyone
wholesome
fucking
person.
loved Balder. He
But
was
his
the
mother, Freya, was worried for his
thought it was
safety.
Frigg.
What?
I thought it was Frigg.
Frigg and Freya are the same person.
Oh. I thought they were two different people.
Nope, it's just two different pseudonyms.
Ah.
Just like how there's Odin and Oath.
There's Oath.
Oath is also Odin,
Oh, I was like,
but another name for him.
I was like, the fuck is, who's Oath?
Oath.
Oath. I don't like that I see your skeleton just staring at me through the kite. I
Well, don't look at it.
can't stop looking at it.
Anyway, so... anyway, she made a pact with all the things on heaven and earth that
not
they would
harm
not
Balder.
harm Balder. But she neglected to seek the counsel and the blessing of the mistletoe.
And so Loki, being his mischievous self, crafted something that's most commonly a dart, but is sometimes like a spear.
He
or
made a
bow.
dart of mistletoe in a contest to essentially like test his invincibility.
Test how much the gods could take, and let's just say.
And that killed him, and that was enough to garner the wrath of literally every god that ever
skipped
was.
over the thing. Thor and like other gods were having fun, or in one depiction, this literally made Balder invulnerable. So even if someone tried to hit him, it wouldn't do anything. So I don't know how many depictions, but there's at least one. And so some of the gods are having fun. Thor's like trying to hit him with his hammer, but it doesn't do anything. And then there's one god who can't join in on the fun because he's blind. So Loki is like, oh, I'll guide your arm and you can throw this dart at him. And God's like, you've never done anything to doubt my trust in you. Yeah, let's do this. And so Loki turns invisible, and Balder's all like, oh, yay, you get to join in the fun too. And then he proceeds to throw the dart. It pierces Balder.
And I believe it's actually just a sprig of mistletoe,
or whatever.
fastened with a point.
Where he gets stabbed by mistletoe and falls dead.
And this makes all of the fucking... everyone hated that.
Othin is like...
Othin. You keep saying Othin.
Othin is like, you know what? This is a mistake. No one is crazy enough to do this. So he goes to Hel and is like, hey, can we have Balder back, please? And Hel is like, if everyone wants him back, or it was either if everyone wants him back or if everyone sheds a tear for Balder, then he can return. And then Loki is like, well, I can't let this happen. This would ruin all of the hard work I did. So he
Into being a horrible asshole.
He shapeshifts into a giant woman, or a Jotnar woman, and who's eventually described as being heartless. And is like, no, let Hel keep what she's gotten. And then, yeah, Balder stays dead. Stays with Hel for some reason.
Well, because that was the deal.
Yeah. And, yeah. Well, I'm just saying for some reason, I feel like Balder will have gone to Valhalla.
Well, no, that's a place where mortal spirits are taken.
Yeah, sorry.
The Aesir technically do not have a mortal spirit in the same way that mortals do.
Yeah.
They are made of... They're not even something with a spirit. They are considered to be intrinsic threads of the ordered universe, each of them equally important. That's why Loki's name is very apt to his place in the story.
Is used for trickery, like
No, his
Loki.
name means not. as in a knot in the fabric, which will inevitably lead to it being torn apart. And it's widely, at least speculated, because of his parentage, it's a little mysterious. His father is an unknown being of some level of power. His mother is an unknown creature known as Norn, which sounds a whole lot like a Nern. So he may have been the son of a Nern.
What's that?
The Fates, the Nerns.
I didn't want it to be another like, the Norns in God of War. So I didn't want to say that to be sure. Okay,
so I may have gotten that wrong. Her name was Nern and was a Norn. I mix the two up every now and then.
I mean, they're very similar, Nern and Norn.
Yes. And that's exactly the thing. So it's thought that his mother may have been one of the Fates and created him as essentially something to rend the fabric.
Yeah.
As for father, just unknown. No one fucking knows. He did have a dad, but we don't know what he is.
His dad's Kratos. Sometimes.
Oh my god, you fucking stop.
Sometimes.
But that is a way they made it work. That
they just had his dad be Kratos.
His Kratos is a being that would be unknown to the Norse.
Yeah.
Very powerful, but like a different thing.
Very powerful, very used to killing gods.
Well, that's not in the Norse fables.
I know.
Oh yeah, I already grabbed a heart. Never mind. Goodbye.
What was I? Do you need me to guide you somewhere?
No, I've just been farming for money because we've gotten all of the free money spots, and I need a potion if I'm going to come anywhere close to taking on that dungeon.
All right.
Some of this I will probably cut out.
Yeah.
I always forget. I think it's 68 for the big potion. Yeah.
I will say one thing that I always found strange. Or one thing, not that I found strange. One thing that I really like is that sometimes in Odin doing stuff, he does something bad.
Well, yeah, because all he cared for was gaining knowledge.
Yeah, because...
In fact, he himself was kicked and banned from Valhalla for a time because he was doing things that were considered too weird and taboo.
Yeah, some things in...
Even for, like, something of the All-Father to do, they were like, nah, you're being kind of weird, then we don't want to...
Didn't he kill the actual creator of everything, or is that...
Well, no. His father was Ymir, this great titanous being.
His name. Yeah, Ymir.
Yeah, Ymir. And he and his siblings killed him because he was...
He's like, Dad's bad, kill him.
Well, no, it's the idea of the tyrannical father. It's a deeply ingrained just story element that's within the soul of humanity.
Sins of the father.
Not sins of the father, the tyrannical father.
Yeah.
The idea of this larger than you masculine figure that has control over you.
Like Kronos.
That you have to overcome. Yes, that's another instance of the tyrannical father.
Or,
yes to literally anything you could possibly come up with.
Is Ra an example?
Ra? Yeah, kind of. Anyway, as I was saying, so... Odin and his siblings conquered Ymir and killed him and made the known and ordered universe from his corpse.
Yeah. His
blood became the oceans, his bones the mountains, his flesh the very land we walk.
Yeah, Odin did a lot of weird stuff.
The way that runes and rune telling was discovered was from him hanging himself upside down from Yggdrasil for
I was about to say that.
long time.
I was about to
gazing down into the pool of knowledge until he sacrificed his own eye for the runes to be revealed to him.
Oh, I thought... Isn't there another telling where he hung himself and stabbed himself with his own spear? Or no, that's a story of something Odin did to someone trying to get out of sacrificing themselves to Odin. Because there was a story of someone having a group of people having a bit of trouble sailing because they didn't sacrifice anything to Odin, and when they draw lots for who'd be sacrificed, this one guy kept getting it, but he was He was either a king or a captain. I can't remember. He was important.
Well, if he was a king, Odin would definitely have taken umbrage with him continually turning down being sacrificed to Odin, because Odin is the god of kings.
Yeah, so
And so for a king to essentially be like, no, I'm too important to be given to Odin,
Yeah, but
would be a grand insult.
yeah, but so he refuses until the crew members are like, we won't actually kill you. We'll use like a real soft rope and a harmless stick. Then the stick proceeded to turn into a spear.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't have flied. The gods are rather nice when compared to many other mythologies. The only thing they really require of anyone is that they accept that the gods are intrinsic parts of the universe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't require your worship. They only require it if you want something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're fine to be ignored. But if you are trying to beseech them and you cheap out or you lie or you
cheap out.
Yeah, essentially, if you do anything to dishonor this offering you're saying you're giving, it's viewed as a insult by
Like
them.
if you claim you're gonna give them this precious item and then it's like your left sock, if it's something meaningless to you, then they won't take kindly to it.
I mean, if it is your favorite left sock, they might take it.
Yeah, but if it's just,
Odin might take it. Thor would probably just be like, I don't know, thanks. Do you want to eat my goats?
Yes, this sock that could fit my toe.
Did you not even hear the last part of what I
Yeah,
said?
I know.
Yeah, do you want to eat my goats?
Yeah, no, I know that. I know the
He
story.
fed his goats to many guests, or many people who let him be a guest at their home because they regenerate if he does his magical ritual thing.
I thought you
just so long as he takes the hide and bones.
Khayman, you're a bit confused. There was one goat, and then while he was at someone's home, one of the kids broke open a bone for some reason. And then when Thor did his regenerate thing, 2 goats appeared.
Yes.
And he was quite pissed about this, so he was like, so he was angry. And then the parents were like, oh, take our 2 children. You will get 2 goats and 2 children now.
Snarl and Fang were their names.
I can never remember their names, so I actually didn't know that they were Snarl and Fang.
Yes, they were called that because they had fangs and they would consume the corpses of Thor's enemies. Well, that was like a lot of their steeds. The same thing was for Sleipnir.
Sleipnir?
Yes.
Odin's battle horse
yes.
with 8 legs.
His maw was said to be stained red of the corpses of Odin's enemies.
Toasty.
Yeah. No, like I said, they were a very fatalistic people, but that's
Yeah.
what's going to happen when you live in a literal frozen wasteland where nothing
What's going to
grows.
happen when you're a fun Viking?
Well, yeah, like they lived very short, very harsh lives. Their land was not very good for growing much of anything. They were fairly landlocked by other opposing
They had
cultures.
people coming in trying to erase their culture. They were stubbornly not writing anything down.
Well, yeah, because they had an oral tradition. That's why the only stories that are left are ones that have been passed down, but essentially purely in secret. Because at some point the Christians came and buried their elders up to their necks in the beach and made everyone else watch and said, okay, so you have to accept Jesus Christ or you have to fucking die. And they were like, all right.
I'll say,
Whatever you say.
I will say, that's one thing that I do like about the Romans. They weren't like that. They were just like, oh yeah.
Are you kidding? The Romans were worse. The Romans were like, we're literally going to murder you all if you do not accept the truth of our fucking might.
I didn't know that. I knew that they were like, oh, so you called our God by different names.
Why do you fucking think that Jesus got crucified? They viewed him as a false prophet.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, they
I thought that was the
fucking-
Egyptian.
What are you fucking... No, the Egyptians they persecuted Moses and his people and the Jews just kind of in general. The Jews have not had a good lot in history.
Yeah.
They go around and get shit on and then they leave.
They're the youngest brother of history.
No, they're the oldest brother, but one like is not good at fighting.
The oldest brother, but that's
Like
the weakest.
Judaism is a very, very old religion. It's one of the oldest Abrahamic faiths.
Damn, what was I gonna say? One of my favorite myths, though, is I like Loki myths, just because they're entertaining, because he's the god of fucking shit up.
He's the god of being an asshole, so I'm not surprised that he's one of your favorites.
But so...
Like, sorry I cut off your wife's beautiful hair, Thor, but I tricked some fucking dwarves into making some cool stuff.
No, that was after. That was a...
I know, I'm simplifying it.
Sif this incredible wig.
Yes, and then a boat.
And then Loki was like, yeah, no, I bet you can make something better than that. And the dwarves were like, what do you bet?
Well, no, they demanded his head in trade if they won.
Loki.
But then his trick was, where does his head begin? At his neck, like
when does his head begin and his neck end?
Yes, so that because they had rights to his head, they could not do anything that would harm his neck.
Yeah,
and so they decided to show his mouth shut, so he could not spread any more malicious lies.
Wasn't there a time where Loki got trapped in a box?
Yes. I believe it was someone essentially betting him that he could not fit in the box.
I bet you couldn't.
So he shapeshifted into something small, and then they just trapped him in the box, and he was like...
Wasn't there also this great Norse seal fight between him and Heimdall?
I wouldn't be surprised. The Norse gods did a lot of shit.
The Norse were weird.
Like, as much as, like, the Greeks had various times in which, like, Athena got really mad that someone was better at anything than her.
And cursed them.
Yeah, and then cursed them. Like, there's a woman who was really, really good at making tapestries and said, oh, I'm probably better than Athena at making tapestries because it's all I do. And Athena took that personally and challenged her. And
Would you not take it personally if someone's like, I bet I can do this better than you?
No, because they wouldn't be saying it to me. What happened was she just like bragged to her peers and stuff like, oh, I bet I make tapestries even finer than Athena. And then Athena heard about this and was so mad she was like, I want to challenge you to
Athena's like, the fuck you say to me?
I want to challenge you to a weaving off. And Athena lost.
And then didn't Athena proceed to like assault them?
No, Athena lost and then cursed the woman who was named Arachne to be a spider, and that's the origin of spiders in the Greek myth. Was this one woman who Athena was like, oh, you like weaving, do you? Well, now you can weave forever.
Similar thing about Mint. I don't remember what their Greek
name. What the fuck are you saying?
I don't remember what their Greek thing was, but they were with Hades before Persephone. And then tried to win Hades back after he married Persephone, and Persephone proceeded to turn her into Mint.
Oh yeah, because Persephone, didn't hate Hades. As much as you think you might, if someone abducts you, and so this is a worthless room.
An abduction, it was an arranged marriage.
Not in an arranged marriage, the like, oh, you ate some of my pomegranates, you're not allowed to leave.
Oh yeah.
And then he just had to work it out with his fucking new mother-in-law. Like, okay, Hades, but she needs to, like, come back to, like, make spring happen and shit. So can she come back, like, sometimes? And he was like,
technically, Persephone doesn't make spring. She just makes,
Dude, you know the fuck what I mean.
Yeah, she just makes Demeter not want everything to fucking die. So, whenever Persephone's back, Demeter's happy and everyone's happy. Because everyone isn't fucking dying. Well put.
I too am happy when not everyone's fucking dying.
And that's the Greek telling of why seasons are.
How come is seasons?
How come
Because
it's
some old lady is not sad about her daughter living in hell with some weird dude.
No, she is. That's what winter is.
I know,
Demeter's
yes,
sad.
but I'm talking about the changing of the seasons.
Also, I find some.
Well, I have no more bombs, and a lot of these rooms are literally useless. This map is a troll, Connor. It's a troll.
I can't wait till you get the map and we just see it's the meme troll face.
That sounds hellish. I'm just
Khayman.
I have a potions, so I'm just gonna fucking go at him.
You criticized me for playing like that? Jeez.
Yeah, Connor, it's because of how laggy that room was, because of how much was going on. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna skill this at all. I hate these stupid skull things because they don't do any damage, right? They just make it so you can't use your sword. I guess my other option, I could have my Mujik wand.
Mujik Mond.
Yeah, they can't stop me from Mujicking.
Oh, I thought the magic wand got rid of him.
I thought the magic wand hurt this doofus for a second. Oh, it has to be like right up. I have to touch him with it. He didn't care about the flash. Oh, that's what was in that item room. It was my upgraded magic wand. So now it does. It was the booble. The booble up there, which makes it so my magic wand also makes fire, so I don't need my candle anymore. It doesn't cost me anything.
Demeter
like the
can
arrows.
be very. I'm trying to think of a word. Very
Demore.
judgmental.
That's like all the gods of every pantheon.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a word, but there's a myth in which someone was cutting down Demeter's like sacred forest or something like that.
And so she's like, I'm going to eat your soul.
No, they go up to Demeter's personal favorite tree, and
Her favorite tree.
people are all like, dude, don't cut it down. And this guy's like, I don't give a shit. Proceeds
like,
to
"I
go
want
to
to-"
cut down the tree.
He's like, I'm gonna cut it extra down now.
Yeah, proceeds to cut the tree, and guess what happens?
What?
The tree starts splurting blood. And then he's like,
Yeah, that sounds like a Greek thing.
and then he's just like, this
He's like, this is bothersome.
No, he's not even like that. He's like, this is what happens when you do it good. He keeps going to cut.
He's like, oh, the blood sap's coming out. That means I must be going. Okay, yeah, I know.
Keeps going to cut it down.
Let's look at my kind of a map.
Keeps going to cut it down, and then
Okay, so there should be a link to another room in the room to the north of this.
he keeps going to cut it down, and then when he fully cuts it down, Demeter is shocked.
Aha, there we are. This is probably where we
And
died
so
last
Demeter
time.
goes to the personification of like starvation or something like that.
And is like, thinner.
Him.
Do you know
not.
that movie?
No.
Some dude gets cursed by a gypsy woman to like lose weight because he wants to, and so she's like, thinner. But the problem is he just always loses weight, and eventually he dies of, being too thin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that what you did, Connor? Is that why you look like a skeleton?
No.
Yeah, why are you being so judgmental to my skeleton boy if you, like, your
What do you
kindred
mean you're
spirits?
You're
The one you
not
were
being
complaining about a second ago, where you were like, I don't like that he's looking at me.
I don't like that he's staring directly at me through a kite.
I mean, the way I see it, he's looking at me, his dad.
No, he's
Hey,
looking
bud.
at me.
Yeah, he thinks you're hot. He's like, oh man, look at them clavicles. I'm like, did you see that, Connor?
No, what?
The second I got finished healing, I got shot by one of the stupid thing's magic balls.